Hi guys, Mr. Giles here. Welcome to episode 19 of my Let's Play United Kingdom Hearts of Iron 3 series. I'm not sure how long we're going to play this episode. If you remember last episode, obviously we defeated Germany. Italy is in the Allies too, as is Poland and Hungary and Slovakia, and France, Belgium, Netherlands. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to play today. I've got to get ready for my holiday. Which I hope you all remember. I am going away on holiday to Austria tomorrow, so this will be my last episode before I go away, which I know is a bit frustrating for you guys, but you know, I want to go away. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I'm just thinking about my deployment in Europe. What I am going to do is, I think, the First Army, where is it? Fifth Army. Fifth Army is being redeployed, or retasked, perhaps. The Sixth Army isn't really up to much. I think I'm going to keep the Sixth Army in Europe. I'm going to redeploy this to Poland, and this will be joined by the Second Army Group, which will be released to Breslau. I'm going to rebase my theatre HQ to Vienna. I think this is Vienna. Yes, it is. And the First Army is going to prepare for the assault on Romania. I am going to divert 1 or 2 armoured corps south, and by south I mean to Japan. So, you know, thinking about the VPs of Romania, they only have 2 of them. So the fastest way I think I can think of doing this is a spearhead through Politsy towards Bucharest, which I think will probably be the easiest way of doing it, to be honest. So we'll just let it run for now. You know, there isn't much happening right now. We will take some of our HQs. We'll take our army HQ and a few divisions. Yeah, a few divisions. And here is my other transport fleet. I was looking for this all game. All game being... not all game. I'm disbanding my command structure in the in Denmark, because we no longer need to worry about defending Denmark. We have 2 free corps for immediate deployment to... I'm just going to combine these fleets. So we'll load up 1 corps, and we want to take divisions of a corps rather than the HQs, otherwise it's just a bit quicker that way. So these guys are coming down to Burma. Yes, we're sending these guys down to Burma. I haven't really thought too much about how I'm going to confront the war of the Soviets, the Japanese. I'm going to keep units, mainly armoured units, in Europe as a deterrent against the Russians. The reason I'm keeping mainly armoured units is because armour is heavy, as a number 1. And number 2, it doesn't fight quite so well in the sort of unfavourable terrain. I'm going to keep my first cruiser fleet and not the second battle fleet. These guys can come out. I'm going to send back my reserve fleet. Oh no, we'll just throw everything we have at Japan. I was thinking about the naval war I fight against. I'm going to fight against the Soviets, but of course that's not really a primary concern, if we're brutally honest. So France has been reclaimed. Northern France, the Vichy France, the breakaway state, still exists. And at a later point in the game, I'm going to cheat and tag as France and order the attack on Vichy France, which will be, of course, led by me as the United Kingdom, but ordered by France, which is sort of a realistic thing. You can sort of imagine that happening. That's just a bit of flavour, you know, nothing really, don't really need to do that, to be honest. Now I'm going to redeploy what air force I have. I should really keep these things open. I always mean to, but I close them accidentally because I always find they get in the way. So here we are. The 5th fighter wing is going to be combined for convenience sake. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters in this wing, and the 1st fighter wing is also 5 fighters. They need repairing. You can see I've lost quite a few bombers and things in the war against Germany. That's to be expected, to be honest. I never really had air superiority over them, which was I've said already, but I'm going to say again. So we're going to send them down to Singapore for immediate support. Obviously I'm not going to think about actually starting a war against the Soviets until I'm ready. And by when I'm ready, I mean until Poland, but not Poland, but before Romania, after Romania, after the Axis has been liquidated, essentially. I am slightly worried about the Soviets. They have such a superior force to me. But the 1st Armour Corps is going to go out to Southeast Asia, only because I do want some armour, even if it is not the greatest armour. So we'll detach these and just simply attach them to the Singapore HQ for now. I just don't want to forget that. And to replace them, we'll send down the 1st Corps, which is the corps I've been keeping behind in Britain all that time, and attach that to the 6th Army, just to make sure that that 6th Army isn't under strength. Obviously, we will take up positions with the 6th Army. We're not just going to leave it. One thing you've probably noticed I do is I like to sort of deploy my my HQs sort of semi-historically, or semi-realistically, so I like to deploy them in cities and in strategic positions rather than just sort of anywhere, if I can avoid it. So I'm putting some units close to the Polish border. I'm not going to put them on the border as of yet, because of course, you know, I don't want to antagonise the Soviets. I'm just checking to see where the Dnieper marshes are. I think it's the Dnieper marshes. Yeah, we'll give Peru some rare materials. And the rest of my bombers are somewhere. Okay, we're going to look for the rest of our bombers. Some are in Bratislava. I don't even remember putting them here. The 2nd fighter wing is going to be redeployed to Warsaw. And I'm also going to rename the Alexandria HQ to the European headquarters. Because it seems a bit weird having it still being the... So we'll send we'll send these 2 also up to Warsaw. This is a very token force to see off the Soviets, but the VVS is not a particularly, that's the People's Air Force, isn't a particularly strong threat. We'll put our tactical bombers in Rangoon, and we'll move one of the fighter wings we had up to Rangoon as well. I'm anticipating having overwhelming air superiority over the Japanese, because I should have overwhelming superiority against the Japanese. The one thing I'm unsure of is whether when I declare war on Romania, whether that means I will end up at war with the rest of the Axis, which is a plausible scenario, if not a particularly concerning one. But that means I want to have taken up positions. I want to have taken up positions beforehand. I want to take up positions in Japan and in Siam beforehand, before I declare war, that is. This is not a good place to deploy our armour, looking at the terrain. So we'll transfer our armour slightly further south, where if a conflict was to break out, we'd probably have a little bit more success. Of course, I want to avoid war at all costs. I'm going to try and defend this river line. If they did declare war on us, their neutrality is 0. It's very possible that they do declare war on us. And in such a situation, I would like to think I could depend on the support of my allies, but I am fully aware that the AI is unbelievably incompetent. And as such, I know I can't rely on the AI to give me support. Okay, so some of our 13th Corps has arrived, and we'll attach these immediately to the second army, and we'll push them straight up to the Siamese border. These will be border guards, essentially. This fleet, of course, will come immediately back to Wilhelmshaven to pick up any other people that need to be picked up. So, I hope you're all enjoying this AAR. It's good fun. I'm going to miss it on holiday. But, you know, I think I've covered quite a lot again in the time where I've been back. So, yeah, I hope you haven't been disappointed. Clutch. Who have I set for objective? Oh, I was clicking on the wrong province. I don't want Italy just to go bugger off and depend its own ports again. They want to invade France. That's interesting. This is where you miss limited war as the Allies, because it means you can sort of alter things more realistically in your favour. The job of this infantry corps is not really to do much. It's simply to... what's this? Oh, okay. I forgot I had these. So I feel like I have quite a big army right now. Nothing to be laughed at, certainly. Nothing compared to the Soviets. The Japanese should fear my army. As they should also fear my navy. as I'm not dicking about with my navy. I have a rather astonishing number of ships right now, and I'm putting some patrols out. If I was really horrible, I would put my American destroyers out because I hadn't even bothered to build them. I haven't even built them even, so they're sort of just expendable to me. I'm considering deploying these to a Dutch port. I'm hoping that's not going to mess up my supply. Just putting all my scouts out right now. You can see our scouting belt is now quite extensive, and I'm going to start sending my subs as convoy raid missions. We're not at war yet. This is simply in preparation for when we are at war. This is not very... Oh, I just cancelled those orders. That was because I'm using a mouse and I'm on a laptop, so I accidentally brushed the touchpad. Sorry about that. I was incredibly surprised that my laptop can actually run Fraps and Hearts of Iron, and the reason for that is that Hearts of Iron actually has such a low frame rate, and that is the sole reason why I can do a Let's Play. And I'm pleased it's the case as well, because it's something I've really wanted to do for a long time, and my predominant reason I haven't is because I thought I couldn't. Not because I didn't want to or couldn't be bothered or didn't have the time or anything like that, it was simply because I thought I couldn't. You can see this deployment is not great, to be honest. But ultimately I'm sort of semi-relying on luck. We have a fighter group to deploy. Excellent. The VVS is not as a big threat as the Soviets. But even so, I'm worried about them. We'll attach these to the European headquarters, and I think this is the 6th fighter wing now. You noticed I've been recently investing more in fighters than I have in bombers. The reason for that is I want to... Oh, what the Germans got there. They should be able to win superiority in East Prussia. I want to... My main objective is to keep enemy bombers off me rather than my own bombers in play. Especially as I've let lots of my own bombers get killed and things things like that, and very shoddy play. I wish I could borrow some like transports or something from my allies, but it's not to be. So we are going to deploy our armour corps here because the terrain is more favourable. We can punch down south through the plains. I'm thinking about encircling these guys. I just hope... Who is their highest threat? Ooh, Germany. That's weird. They still think Germany is their highest threat. I'm fearing a message where it says, those fools, the Soviet Union, have declared war on you, or something like that. That would pretty much be game over right now. It really would. We'll see if we can reinforce the Hungarians a bit. I'm spreading my forces very thin here. This is why the Soviets are so worrying for me. Because you know Germany is a much mightier nation. You know their army is so much more powerful than the British army, which I've said before. I know, but I don't think words can really express how much that is actually the case. So you can see me here desperately trying to provide some kind of cover for my allies, but I doubt that I will be able to, really, if war breaks out. I'm going to deploy this army as well against the Soviets, once I can. So let's look at our positions. Okay. Well, we'll only need one division here, because they haven't got anything here. So we'll deploy the majority of our forces further forward and put this last division and the core HQ further back. You see my Marines are here now as well. I should sort this out. So they are attached to the Singapore HQ. I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? If you want your, you can actually save a bit of supply. If you attach your air wings and your ships at a army level, and in the army level position on the hierarchy, because they can't be supplied here. Because then you have more opportunities to grab those logistic wizard commanders who are incredibly helpful. Right, so we have a whole mess of things here. I'm just going to combine all my obsolete destroyers for convenience sake. And you can see we've actually got some subs here as well, which will be quite helpful against the Japanese. The Japanese are quite vulnerable to convoy raiding, just as Britain is quite vulnerable to convoy raiding. I don't know what the size of that port is, I've just bunged them in there. It's only a level 1 port, so I won't want to keep them there for long. And the second carrier fleet I know has some pretty good ships in it. Indomitable is there now, and I'm going to carry on the practice of swapping out my older ships for newer ones. So Furious, which unfortunately is the most successful ship in the fleet, is now going to be replaced by a newer ship. And I'm sure lots of people will be up in arms about that in reality if that happened. My submarine fleets, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about those. 2 battle fleets I'm going to keep in reserve in Colombo. But whilst everything is here, I'm going to quickly attach it to the Singapore HQ, whilst I remember. So when you're doing mass movement like this, it's very easy to forget to do so. There's some quite funny things in the leaders of Hearts of Iron. There are a few mistakes. Some have actually been rectified in this patch. Like, for instance, Japan used to have a naval commander with air leader traits, which was a bit weird. So, he was was an air commander who was excelled at fort attack, which is quite funny because it's obviously completely useless. My American destroyers are going to patrol a long way out, sort of between Papua New Guinea and Malacca and the Straits of Malacca. This will tell me whether I need to protect Australia or not, or simply just tell me where enemy movements are. But I have such a number of scouts, essentially, that being able to throw destroyers in like that as scouts is quite an advantageous position for us. I will need to reinforce this province, Kuching. I think that's how you say it anyway. I'm waiting for my transports to arrive in Rangoon as well. I know, I saw them, so they're on their way. France is mobilising. I'm not sure whether like, these newly liberated countries actually have an army at all, but to know they're mobilising is going to be a horrific thought for many nations. I should have put another corps. Like this corps doesn't really need to be here, it should be up here. See, the Germans have sent their heavy armour to support me, which is quite nice. Against Romania, I'm not particularly worrying about my deployment too much. Right, so we should be in Rangoon by now. So our next port of call is going to be Portsmouth, and we're going to transfer some units over to Europe for additional use against the Soviets. Oh god, this bloody front is so thin. If they wanted to attack me, they would easily be able to smash me. I suppose my... Oh, that's 4 attacks. So our infantry divisions are slightly superior. 1-1. That's a very poor division. But I don't know how we got such good stats, such good sight on the Soviet units. It's very unusual that you can see those numbers. Oh, I've sent an under-strength armoured division to make this push as well, which is rather ironic. That wasn't my intention. We'll send the 4th Armoured Corps. That was a mistake on my part. Oh, look. Belgium has returned to Europe. I was taking a look at my resources. There's so much. I know I'm losing oil, but to be honest, Britain has so much oil it doesn't really matter. I'm swapping in a multi-role for an interceptor because I want the range of the multi-roles over the range of the interceptors. So this interceptor is going out to Burma, where range isn't quite so important. I'm making some mistakes. It's partly because Fraps makes this game slightly more laggy on my computer, and the other reason is that I'm just an idiot. Slim is a good commander, and so is Templar. See, now the thing is, because I'm putting different units in different places, that I actually don't need to worry quite so much about my deployment. This guy, I'm wondering whether what I should do is destroy this HQ, destroy the 5th Army, attach this to the 3rd Army, because Slim is a good commander, but swap Templar in, oh it's Dempsey, Templar in for him. So we have quite a strong, the 4th Army group is probably quite strongly led, to be honest. And we can probably compact this corps up a bit. So rather than covering 5 provinces with 5 divisions, we'll cover how many provinces we have with a few divisions. You see, I like to use strategic redeployment for just general movement in peacetime. It's much faster, and that's the only reason I use it. Trying to catch some for when the war in Burma breaks out. I'm trying to cut off Japanese ports. One of the things I will attempt to do is because supply or infrastructure is so poor, is attempt to get Japanese ports. So I will try to rush Saigon, Cam Qinghai, and provinces like Bangkok, of course, and Buri. I will attempt to knock out from sea as well, but it all depends on what the IJN brings to the fight. I'm transferring my 4th Corps out of its defensive positions. I no longer think that's necessary. Let's carry on. What's going on here? So here's Indomitable. We'll swap Indomitable out and send Furious. No, we'll send Indomitable in, send Furious out. Unfortunately, the 2nd Carrier Fleet won't pack so much of a punch. Well, actually, that's not true. The 2nd Carrier Fleet will pack just as much as a punch because carriers aren't really dependent on their actual stats themselves. It's the stats of their carrier air groups which is really the most important. But this fleet is going to be pretty potent, to be honest. I would not want to be anything up against this. Right, are any of our transports here yet? No. No one's arrived in Wilhelmshaven. The 4th transport fleet is on the move. Well, I'm anticipating a declaration of war on Romania pretty soon. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. I just feel so rusty at this game. I feel like I'm sort of throwing in troops randomly. We'll keep these off the border for now. I'm wondering... I don't need to worry about this region because they have no troops here. But they are starting to panic a bit. The Germans will help, at least. But the annoying thing is with these countries being puppets is that they won't ever have enough supplies or fuel to supply a large number of men. So I've essentially screwed them over for life. The USA is asking for rare materials. I've never seen the USA be in any need of materials or raw materials before. So I'm wondering what's going on there, to be honest. I'm going to send the 2nd Battle Fleet in. It is attached to Singapore HQ. Good. The other base in the region which you can use is Oosthaven, which I've used quite a lot in multiplayer games if I've lost Singapore. Lots of players forget about the importance of the Dutch East Indies as well. They are rich in oil, that's what they are rich in, and in rare materials as well, so they are a prime target for the Japanese. Of course the AI won't be clever enough to realise that, but players obviously do. Players are good. So as I was telling you, the range on these aircraft is pretty extensive. These are my multi-rolls. If I put them on air intercept, for instance, you can see I can pretty much cover my whole area of operation. So I can target enemy carrier air groups from a long way out. I mean, that's the intention I've always had. You always want to have their support. These ones are slightly further away, but if they get close in, then they'll be able to also support. So this must be pretty boring for you guys. This is just a period of consolidation. There's nothing I can really do right now. I'll try and load as much as I can. It's all going out to India, so whatever out to East Asia even, so what order it goes in isn't really hugely significant, because I want it all to go anyway. I can sort out what I want where exactly once I get there. The majority of my force is going to be committed to cutting off Okay, I'll tell you my plan. My plan in Siam is, again, an encirclement. The Japanese I will allow to push through these provinces simply because they're totally worthless. And they'll spread their front slightly thinner and sort of deny themselves of advantageous positions by moving into these provinces, in which time I will do many amphibious assault along the Siamese Peninsula, the Malaya Peninsula, in order to eliminate troops and to destroy divisions. My main target will be Puri, and pushing north to the point where infrastructure becomes too low for troops to enter. So at which point I would have effectively isolated the Japanese force in the region. Okay, so our forces are almost ready. It's quite nice doing German heavy armour on your side. I will puppet Romania, simply because I need more troops to fight off the Soviets. As you can see, they're scary and big. Go on then. Oh, it's paused. That was a fail. We won't tell anyone about that one. I have quite a few cores simply free, which is good. So it's 1942 now. At this point, the Allies were starting to gain the initiative. And I'd like to point out that it's the Allies, not just Britain. What I've managed to do is essentially make World War II a point where defeat is almost certain for the Axis, and the Allies are in a very strong position. The only debatable thing is, of course, these people. They are slightly scary. The IJN I am also worried about, but to be honest I feel as if I've done enough things right in my preparation for naval warfare in the region that it's not going to go disastrously. I'm going to take HMS Hermes out and make a reserve carrier fleet. The reason I'm taking Hermes out is because it's quite slow. She's a slow ship. She can only do 18 kilometers an hour, like the Hermes class carrier here. But these carriers will be able to support. I'll be using them in anti-submarine roles and things. And the French are sending a battleship too. So we'll all see what's going to unfold. I have a feeling I'm going to crush them, to be honest. But on land, it's slightly less likely. Hong Kong will be lost. So we do a quick comparison of the victory points. The Axis are in last place with 14.9% of all the victory points. That's 176 out of 1,177. The Comintern is second with 15.6, 184 out of 1,177. But we have almost controlled 50% of them, so we are doing very well. And if you look at the list of nations in our alliance, UK, France, Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, Netherlands, Canada, Italy, Germany, Hungary. So there's quite a lot of significant powers in here. The Comintern is, of course, wholly dependent on the Soviet Union. These two puppet states don't ever do anything. Tunutavu and Mongolia. Japan is, of course, the linchpin of the Axis right now. What is quite funny, though, is because we're at peace with the Axis right now, I expect Japan will be getting ample supplies of fuel and oil from Romania and Saudi Arabia. And yeah, so if it's about Saudi Arabia, we'll need crushing as well, but that will only take one corps or something, so I'm not particularly worried about doing that. I'm always going to keep one division in London, because I do know the AI is intelligent enough sometimes to launch amphibious assaults. So, not amphibious assaults, to use Oh, these armor divisions can be attached to something else, can't they? Fifth armor corps. I thought I had one which was under strength. Let's have a look. This needs investigation. The third armor corps is full. Oh. Okay. Fair enough. I'm wrong. So I was saying something, but I can't remember what it is. That's the level of intelligence I boast. Lots of these units are going to be used to reinforce various things. I'm going to put this armor corps in north, in Danzig, just in case the Soviets... Oh, good. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened, but it happened, which is good. I expect that's an event rather than a... I think there's something hard-coded. It looked like that. It didn't even look like there was a conflict to me. Okay, so we've almost opened this armour corridor thing. So the declaration of war on Romania will come imminently. Whether that puts me at the war with the rest of the Allies, the rest of the Axis, I don't know. It could happen. Could happen. I'm pretty much ready for a war with the Axis if that is the case. We're going to pick up these two divisions and send them out. And we have another 2 corps to deploy. My armour corps being the most significant one. To go out to East Asia. I'm wasting IT. Odds are I won't be able to take all this. I'll see if I can take my armour. Oh yes, I can. Oof, 0 weight more though. So this will be deployed to Singapore. I hope I'm not overextending supply here. Required. This port can supply how much? Come on, tell me. Singapore. Singapore straight. Singapore. The port here can ship in 79.8 units of supply and fuel every day. Required daily supply is 146. Received supply is slightly lower. So we're slightly overextending our supply here, but what we will do is we'll thin that out slightly, because I'm going to send a corps over to here, just for defensive purposes. And you can see my destroyers are really having difficulty being supplied in this region. Supply in this region is hellish, as a general rule. I've never been able to find a port which can reliably supply your men. I suppose this one, Hollandia. It's not the level of the port, I suppose. It's just it's weird. Manila, we can't supply. Not Manila. This port we can't use yet. Davao. I'm sorry if I butcher pronunciation. It's really not my intention. So I don't exactly know much about this transfer of destroyers to the UK from the Americans. It'd be nice if someone could shed some light on that for me. I don't know whether they were still British crews. That would make sense. Or whether they were American crews, or... yeah. So, here we are. I've just declared war on the Axis. This time... puppet. We decided to puppet these already. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other states yet. We'll delay that. It's quite nice being able to move up to wartime laws, which is one of the reasons I wanted to declare war when I did. Because the wartime laws are an awful lot better. We have so much money as well, we can just do that, just like that. We need 303 in production. That feels like a lot. I think, do we really need that much? Well, I suppose we're investing 120 in Okay, so prepare for the smashing. Romania is really not going to last long. I'm not even sure they're mobilised. I'm going to try and minimise. It's not correct. They are mobilised. Okay, so we've got our first coastal bombers, naval bombers even. We'll attach these to Singapore HQ, and we'll base them in Kuching and hope they get supply. Let's see if we can find a spotter for these people. Hopefully one that's not so bad. I bet we'll use a better commander rather than that terrible guy. I find it funny the way the Indian infantry is always deployed in the UK. So we have 34 IC free, which is wasted IC actually, it's not free IC. Legalistic restrictions. Open society, wrong one. Yeah, we'll do that. I forgot about that. So, the war is about to yeah, air support is of negligible importance. So I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to sort of finish this series in the next week, but you know, so we lost Hong Kong, and whilst this was all going on, I kind of forgot I was at war with the Japanese, which is a good thing to remember. Okay, so one of our corps is going to come over here, and we will attach this immediately to the 3rd Army, and this will also be attached to the 3rd Army. Its divisions aren't all here yet, so we'll move these forward. This won't take long. As I said. And now we just wait for the IJN to show up. We're getting just enough fuel to maintain that level of operation. So we're losing the provinces I said I was going to sacrifice. That shouldn't come as much of a surprise. I'm actually going to move the Bombay HQ forward. The Italians have oddly decided to join in the fun. Maybe they fancy getting a Asian convoy, Asian colony, which of course the Italians never had in reality. You can see here the effect of armour on low quality troops, which is actually devastating. We're going to move to Faggot. We're going to get our transports also back to Singapore. But we need some supply really right now. That's what we need. I always hate the supply situation down here. I always send too many troops, really. Too many troops for it to be effective. We'll just put max range on intercept. As a sort of very lazy way of dealing with enemy position. We'll push into this province, as this will be the first engagement against the Japanese, and it's going to go our way. This encirclement won't work. It's too slow. That's weird. They're bombing the province with no one in. Oh, they are. There's something there. Okay, so here we go. First naval engagement, which is against the Siamese. And this is what I was waiting for. Here comes the IJN in all its might. 2 battleships and 8 IJN Akagi. These submarines are going to die, but unfortunately that is the case. They lost... We see we're tracking Japanese movements here. The first carrier fleet is going out. The second carrier fleet is going to go out slightly slower. That's not going to work, Romania. If I was really lazy, I'd put this on AI control and focus purely on Japan. But I need to keep track of where my carriers actually are. And keep these in position. See if we can catch that destroyer. Those Sauds. I'm going to move these away from Saigon, just in case they come up with a powerful fleet. There it is. We'll catch those subs later. In fact, we might catch them right now. They're making a bit of a poor decision going through here, to be honest. Oh yeah, Saudi Arabia are going to be a pain. They're going to take some stuff. Come on, Iraq, come to help. Oman and Yemen. That's the fleet I'm looking for. Hope they're in fighter cover. They are in range of fighter cover. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and engage their carrier air groups over the fleet, like this. They're actually starting to gain the initiative here. This will rough their carrier air groups up, albeit slightly, for when we go in with our carriers. But now we are moving beyond the range of our land-based fighters, which is unfortunate. Come on, engage them, engage. Good. Oh, here we go. And here you can see, whilst their carrier air groups are engaged by my land fighters, oh god, we are absolutely ripping them apart. Oh, wow. Okay. They have hurt us slightly, if that's any consolation. But not enough. They sunk one of our scouts. That was predictable. Their scouts are all going to be lost, I suspect. I'm hoping that the battleship is French. Okay, we're being engaged by Hungarian troops, by Romanian troops. Oh, we got an unintentional encirclement. That's quite hilarious. Yes, what did I do? I ordered this fleet out to see if it can catch that. We'll get them back. Actually, we are not going to get them back. We're going to send them back to Colombo, because we need supply for our carriers. And we should rout these forces. My priority, however, is against the IJN, as they are the fleet that really I should be more worried about. I was being a bit ballsy with my first carrier fleet, my second carrier fleet there. Whatever this is, I don't know. I don't like moving this any further beyond scouting visual range. I don't know what's there. We'll call off this air superiority mission for now, and we will send these back to this province. They won't receive supply from there, though. They're simply going to dock. We've got some Japanese movement here. Nothing of substantial. If I say nothing substantial as a carrier, then that shows me how much, like, I'm being a bit blasé, to be honest. This is not great play right now. Not naval strike. Priority. This will be the anti-Saudi war. Okay. We should try to beat them here. That won't work. See, I said early on that this is all naval warfare is all about visibility, and you can see why. Where I've known where Japanese fleets are means something very different to me. So not knowing where they are. Just getting away. Just about. Being ballsy here. We may find a fleet, we may not. We have found a fleet. Luckily this is one with very favourable odds. These are heavy cruisers, light cruisers, nothing that we can even get close. Well, there we are. This is a suitable picture for a naval battle, I find. We have no, so we'll take national unity. And they're fleeing back to port. So we will try to chase them down. The second carrier fleet can finish them off. But let's see. We just took the Polezzi. They're going to get away. Damn them. And the first carrier fleet, I'm going to send back to Singapore temporarily. Okay, this is an odd decision. They know they're carriers. They know they're not going to get them. My slightly damaged ones are going to be replaced with my fresh carrier air groups. My usual leapfrog process. This is a really lazy invasion. Luckily Hungary and everyone else has helped. So. You see, there are 3 carriers here of sorts. They are mainly there's 2. There's 1 fleet carrier and 2. See, as I suspected, they have air cover. So what we're going to try and do is wear down, not ground attacks. We're going to try and wear down those carrier air groups by sending in our land-based fighters, so that we have free reign. The Sauds are annoying, but actually it looks like the Iraqis may just finish them off themselves. The Omanis and Yemenis are also pushing in as well, so visibility is not as great as I'd like it to be. We're going to try and see if we can get them with this. Let's see if we can build that radar station. It will take too long to build, I know. Say... So you can see this is why I'm talking about me not being a great player. As a great player right now, I'd be able to handle everything that's going on. Me, I'm either having to focus on the navy or the land or, you know, something rather than everything at once. And you can see that's resulting in some fairly poor play. And we're not really gaining the advantage that we should be able to. It's a shame they aren't coming out to play, those carrier air groups. Be able to finish off some of their screens. There we go, this is what I intended. You see their carrier air groups are quite roughed up now. The second battle fleet is in a position ready to pounce if we get an exploit of sorts. But yes, you're right, the IJN is definitely a very different kettle of fish to the Kriegsmarine or Regia Marina. They are competent. Okay, so Romania has died. That wouldn't take long. Okay, so we have another emergence of this fleet again. This fleet which challenged me earlier. That destroyer flotilla is going down. Yeah. Carrier air groups getting rough up. Okay. Singapore is one of those annoying provinces which you can't invade from two directions. The first carrier fleet is not in a critical state. I just sent it back to get some very immediate repairs. Okay, so Romania is died. I want to know where my transports are. These transports are going to go back to Portsmouth. Alright, so the front is sort of stable in Europe right now. We have sort of a very ragtag collection of my forces and German forces and things. And, so this is not working as intended. 16 carrier air groups right here. This carrier air group is in a very poor state. I'm actually building some extra reserve ones, by the way. This is going to be a good attack for them. Burma is a terrible, terrible place to fight in. We're trying the old, well, you've seen me do this before, you know what I'm doing. We're attacking the port to force out enemy ships. Nothing too significant here, just some heavy cruisers, some light cruisers. And then we will move on to our real target, which is PUBG. Then I'll bring my armour in to exploit on the gap. Jungles are a horrible place for armour to fight in. Seven, sea level skill, 7. You can never very rarely see that. Stupid submarines intervening. So the IDN losses are starting to escalate right now, and they've seen me. I keep meaning to pause. I forget I have pop-up and pause on, so we caught a few ships there. Tietbury looks in a poor state. I should be able to smash them. I still feel as if my destroyer screen is pretty thin. I could bring in more screens. I was just engaged, HQ was just engaged with no support, so I'm going to rectify that. Oh, okay. We accidentally stumbled across a... this looks like a battle fleet, but there's a CVL chucked in there as well. The AI likes to attach CVLs to its battle fleets, but they're going to lose some destroyers, and yeah, my carriers are just too strong for them right now. They can't quite cope. I expect they'll attempt to disengage. Alright, so they successfully disengaged. Pause. Come on, get them. I'm sending in a battle fleet because this fleet is in a very bad state. The one we just roughed up, and we failed to catch it. So carrier fleet is going back. The battle fleet is going back. Nagano. That's a. So we've got some more battleships incoming. This time, because we saw them, we will. Oh, there's a carrier. So we will be engaging with our fighters again, if we can. See, I want to use this fleet, but they are in a poor state. .32 positioning capacity. Oh, that's because we have transports attached. Okay, so we've engaged them. They are going to have a big bonus to positioning. We are not going to be able to position effectively. You can see ours is at 88, theirs is at 90, so it's not actually a huge difference. I expect this battle will be inconclusive, given there's nothing happened right now. We sort of managed to do some damage. But the main advantage of that is we've been able to force them into port. And I'm going to immediately detach these stupid transports from this fleet. These will all be forced out to sea. I like the way they're trying to defeat us with intercept. Okay, so this fleet is popped up again. This time against a destroyer flotilla. This is also this combination of battleships and carriers seems to be popular for the Japanese. Why can't I create a new unit? Okay, that's slightly odd. Should be able to. Weird. Maybe I need to be in a port. I've never had that problem before. So we're seeing here the effects of fighting the Japanese, and you can tell it's much harder than anything I've had to confront before. I still think we are gaining the initiative. The fact that they're sinking some of my scouts is unfortunate, but predictable. I'm actually going to pull my scouts here back to Bavaria, or there's something like that, Batavia. Simply because I'm going to use my scouts slightly more constructively from now on. So rather than just throwing them away, I am going to use them in direct support of an offensive, rather than just constantly using them to scout. I want to deal a blow to this fleet though before I make any major offensive on the land, because I have to feel comfortable that my flanks are secure. So we're going to take off. We're also going to cut it back to 5 ships, and then split it into 3, 5 and 3, 2 fleets. The first carrier fleet, this is definitely going to be named. First carrier fleet. These are attached to the Bombay HQ. Odd. I don't know, Mountbatten doesn't even get a picture. That's very unfortunate for him. The developers were like, he is not worthy of a picture. You shall not have a picture. I don't know why they had that accent, but I don't know. I don't know what country's Paradox is based in. I should note this. But I've heard Sweden, Britain, you know, I'm still not sure. It's based somewhere, is the impression I've managed to get so far. Got some battle cruisers on the move. We may catch them, we may not. We've caught them. Congo, I think, is their pride of their fleet. It would be nice to sink them. This is the second carrier fleet again. The second carrier fleet knows what it's doing. Those ships are old, their crews are experienced. They fought before. Loss of 2 battle cruisers is semi-decisive. These are slightly better destroyers, actually. Tech 2 destroyers, I'm getting cocky. Okay. There's this fleet again. The one which has eluded me so far. So I'm going to try and do what I can against them. I'm operating at the edge of my range, which is why I'm having a little bit of difficulty sort of fighting. Their carrier air groups, however, are in a weak position. Okay, so we've intercepted Akagi, Mutsu. Oh dear, are they really that close? Oh, it's just a scout. They are polishing up our scouts. They are, of course, on aggressive orders, which I suppose is why. Come on, we have to get something out of this battle. Oh, they beat us. How embarrassing. So they have some destroyers which are close to being killed. Okay, this is a poor decision by the Japanese. Never attempt to engage carriers with anything apart from carriers. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. I should have more spare carrier air groups, really, because my fleets are much larger now. So I destroy. I should let them finish bombing. We've taken our first convoy loss in this war. I'd really like to deliver a decisive blow against the Japanese, and that's what we're going to try and do now. Whilst I'm not usually an advocate of the decisive battle doctrine, this time, to open up my attention for Siam, I do need to do something against the IJN. And I think this would be a good start. If I could get 2 carriers, 1 carrier and an escort carrier, then I would feel much more confident with diverting some attention. Have we swapped out something? I think we did, didn't we? Oh, what's going on here? Have they a fleet here? What is going on here? Oh, I'm very confused. Apparently there are... I'm very, very confused. I saw Japanese things. I'm swapping out some planes which have no ore, some planes which do. I'm going to play this one slightly different to normal. I'm not sending my scouts on patrol order, I'm sending them on static order. And I'm sending my transport fleet north of Saigon, and we're going to land at this province and then advance into Saigon. Oh, I haven't got any marines with me. Arr! Fail, 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 fail warning. This is a risky place for those subs to just drive through. If I was Japan, I definitely wouldn't advocate going through Burma, by the way. It's much easier to do it by sea. To go via the Strait of Malacca. Strait of Malacca. And then to push through Colombo and all the Nicobar Islands. We just lost Bethlehem. It's a shame. Maybe users will never be born now. So not much is happening right now. I definitely feel very rusty. That's what I feel. I feel like I should be making some kind of decisive blow against the Japanese. But maybe not. I'd like to keep a battle fleet close by just in case I can exploit on a weak few ships. Okay. Finally, we're all on board, right. Now we go. We're speeding up. I don't usually do this during war. I feel it means you can miss things quite frequently, quite easily. Okay, so this is going to be an easy battle. Their carrier air groups have no punching power. Our carrier air groups have devastating air superiority. Mind you, they're not doing too badly. Japanese ships are generally pretty good. They lost nothing. We should know about where they flee to. Okay, they're fleeing back to port. In some ways that's good, because they're falling into my trap If they advanced south, if they advanced here, that would be a bit of a pain. Are they attempting to break out again? No, there's a heavy cruiser here somewhere. This is not going to go well. And they're going to lose a naval leader as well. This guy is very good, Nagano. Decision to move that garrison, I wouldn't recommend this garrison. Now Saigon is very open. Oh, we can unpause it. You notice you can't appoint a leader. That's not true. You can. There are some ways of doing it. I can't remember them all. Okay, so we're in position. This is going to be a hard province to break. Mountains, not good. But the Japanese have almost immediately retreated, which is quite good. Japan have done well in this game, which is why I was always slightly worried about having to confront them. Ooh. Okay, so we have some carriers moving about. They may have sensed the threat. They may have sensed the British attack on Saigon. And they're coming to relieve us. Coming to relieve their troops. So we'll attempt to engage these carrier air groups. I'm thinking about where it would be safe for my transports to run. We can see we are roughing them up a bit. Whoa, I can get repression? Seriously? Okay, we're going to get repression. See, I told everyone the Conservatives are bad. Okay, this is Kaga and Zuhyo. They're about to lose Maya, or Maya. I'm always unsure about Japanese pronunciation. They lost Kaga, so they've lost their first carrier. Also lost a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and a submarine flotilla. That's an unfortunate battle for the IJN. I expect they will be kicking themselves after that one. And we seem to have yet more carrier air group battles going on. I really wish I had more than one carrier air group in reserve. What I could do is reinforce with these two. But I'm not sure that's possible. We'll swap our carrier fleets around. The second carrier fleet is in slightly better shape right now. Convoy losses aren't horrific right now. Oh, good. Here we go. As I spoke about wanting more reserves. We've run out of fleet destroyers and spotters and stuff, so. This is going to be a big, absolute hulk of ships which comes out of into the meeting mouth. I'm not sure that. I hope the second carrier fleet can handle it. I'm slightly frustrated that my naval bombers are such a short range. Annoying. The USA still want debt. No, never. Okay, so we've got some free IC. This needs to be updated. I'm gonna build some Bristol Buckinghams. I've never heard of the Bristol Buckingham before. I've heard of the Mosquito, which I thought would be the logical tactical bomber, but maybe they consider that to be a strategic bomber? I don't know, it was used a lot in strategic bombing roles. As I said, the Sauds are running wild, and they need to be taught a lesson. This guy looks very new. He looks like comparatively like someone in the British Army today. So they're going to go down to Romania just to see if they can do something against the Sauds. I've got my feeling about to die anyway. The Iraqis and my puppets are circling around them. I'm using these slightly fresher carrier air groups, if you noticed. And what I am doing is... Okay. So they are simultaneously trying to break through our blockade and also escape from the Mekong mouths. So this is going to be interesting. This is the big target. We don't want to get distracted from this. So I'll show you this battle. They're engaging us with a dozen sort of camp cruisers and things. This fleet should be able to handle it. Okay, so the result of the attempted breakthrough was the French lost a destroyer of submarines, we lost a scout, they lost a couple of destroyers and a heavy cruiser. We're going to pursue them. Actually, no, we won't. These are going to pursue them. Second carrier fleet didn't manage to mop up as I'd hoped, which I feared may have been the result. And as a result, we're going. Oh no, it's not one. Carrier air group. Okay. This is why battle fleets are sometimes good at mopping up those sort of breakaway fleets. They do a lot of damage. Royal Oak is taking some hits. Their carriers are also here as well. Oh no, don't crash! Ah, shit.